We welcome him.
Mark, can you go to the next slide?
Okay.
Are you able to see it?
Yes,
good evening.
thank you.
Can
Ah,
I come
Hello,
in?
Mr. Cash.
Hi, good afternoon, good evening. I've listened to your conversations in past half an hour or so. What we got to realize, and the best example of it will show on Thursday, that you're all equal. There is no difference amongst you or amongst the whole creation. We, as I said in another teaching this week, we have recorded the encounter of the soul of the man with the Creator in a physical, scientific way. And then you see even the Creator is equal to the man. The session of the, what we call 19th of, 16th of December was to prove this. If I'm the image, if I made man the image of myself, then I cannot be any different or higher. And as you remember, we go through it in the Thursday session. You allowed to find yourself, and then in the process, you're allowed to encounter to find your Creator. And we have recorded this physically, digitally. And it's shocking. And for you, it's shocking, not for me, because it's been always clear. But there is no doubt. And in the sessions of the Monday, the 5 sessions, we looked for this to be proven, and it repeats itself every time. If the Creator is equal to you, how can anybody else say something higher than somebody else? And it's so significant for man to understand this, that there is nobody higher. You can guide, you can give your experience, but doesn't mean you're higher because you experienced something before somebody else. Because they experienced something else before you. So when you speak, all men are equal, all man, that even includes the Creator amongst the men. And you will see this one on Thursday. We are putting a fully dossier scientific paper to this effect. Because now it's not a talk somebody says. Now it's in black and white. It's literally so astonishing that you'll end up with all the religions of the past. It ends up with all these kings calling themselves more, and the cleaner, and the gardener, and the president. When you're asked to meet your Creator, you're all equal, even him. We don't see separation. So this is what is said, and that's what is said in it. And you will see it. I think when last Friday's presentation with what we did not tell anyone, but in the background, we collected data not within the center, not within the premises, outside, because we could prove it's right across the universe, right? So right across this planet. And then we'll prove a lot of things, and it brings a lot of changes if man understands, or in the future they understand how significant last Friday teaching was, what they expect. And this is why we said the 20th of January when a man meets the soul of his creator, because you shall meet. You already have met if you were in the meeting of Friday. Let me show it to you scientifically. So no man is higher than another, not even the creator. Those who made the God, the king, and then saying themselves, we are kings because we are the arm of the creator, it's all become a fallacy. Does not exist, cannot exist. And now we ask all scientists to come and sit with us and measure it. We can, the technology, the beauty of the technology is so amazing now that we have access to a knowledge man could never have. And this is what I said, and we expect, and we have now confirmation that clergy was sitting amongst us during the teaching of Friday, because they came forward on Sunday. We see it, and this is what this commandment of all men are equal. This is one thing Moses could not come out with, because then he couldn't call himself a king. He could call him whatever he wanted to be. Thank you very much.
Mr. Cash, may I ask a question, please? When everybody is born, was the star was born in the sky equally, or no? Only Jesus had a star.
You have to understand the meaning of this stuff.
Because, you know, 3 men from Iran on the camel.
These are all made up.
These are all made up?
These are all made up.
Because they said the star was born at the time that Jesus was born. So I thought maybe each of us has a star too.
You see, you're Iranian. Go on and read how Mitra was born. The birth of Mitra is exactly the same. The story has changed to a camel to suit the area. Mitra was virgin, born out of the virgin mother. So did Christ has to. And now, with the knowledge we have today, we can give you a virgin birth. That's for sure. And most probably within the next few months, we will show it. Virginity doesn't come in the dimension of physicality. Virginity comes in the dimension of thoughts, understanding. And even if you look for a virgin birth, I can give it to you, no problem. Now, this is how we said the child of Mitra was born. And now we know with the essence of the field, we can implant the plasma inside the womb of a mother. And that plasma will take energy from the womb, the way the child does, and then inform itself physicality. So even a virgin birth now becomes a right of everything to be created from now on, if you decide to. It's not something we cannot do. Now it's a reality. It's, today, now I'm standing in the, what do you call it, in the center. We are here still 5 or 6 o'clock at night. We're doing tests and everything else. In the systems I have here, I can create a virgin birth. I can create birth even without the mother. Forget about virginity. I was talking to one of our colleagues today at the table. I said, if we show these people what we see here, they're going to run. If we tell you what we hear, he says all lies. But this reality is there and nobody can deny it, and it's just going to take shape and effect. So you tell me, is there 3 camels with 3 kings on it, or was the kingship in the speaking correct? The king was supposed to that, he was supposed to act correct, and he was supposed to think correct. Is that the kingdom? And that's the only thing that we carry with you inside, with your soul. So you can put on a donkey, he came on a camel, 3 spaceship brought it. You expand your imagination. What is written in the Bible about the birth of Christ, even his birthday, in a real life has no credibility the way it's written. Christ wasn't born as a prophet. Christ became a prophet when he received the soul of the Creator. Like every other message. The rest of it is the history made to make it glorious and glamorous. The only thing is, and I said many times, if you want to know how Catholic West Church is close to Mitra, look at the Iranian flag and the Italian flag. It's the same, turn sideways. Do you believe in the horizontal colors, or do you have the same colors but vertical? Nothing different. The Italians just turned it upside down and said, and everybody believed it because Romans could do, they were emperors, they could write everything. It's very much, I was listening to the news past few days, and they call it a genocide by the Russians bombing all the power stations, power supplies, and water supplies of Ukraine. The biggest crime against humanity. Hold on, boys. Turn the radio on, go on the internet, look at 20 years ago, 25 years ago. High-level bombing, the Americans called it. In Yugoslavia, started first, then in Iraq, then in Libya, then in Syria. High-level bombing. What did they bomb? The power stations, the water supplies, and everything that the nation needed today. How come they don't talk about it? But when the Russians do it, there is something wrong with it. Most of you remember Yugoslavia, the way they bombed the thing up to a smithereen. All the power stations, all the substations, all the water supplies, everything was bombed. The same in Iraq. Today in Baghdad, you have generators, people on the streets, cables running all over because the Americans bombed the power stations first. And now, is something wrong with it? When the Russians learn from them, do it to them. We have the same thing in religions. American talk as a glory. They freed Afghanistan, they freed Iraq, but now Russia does the same thing. They are aggression. They're all the same books, they do the same thing. Depends who's got to write the book, who's got the microphones in the news. You have the same thing in religions. Who wrote the book? Because the emperor wanted to write it the way it suited him.
Mr. Kesh, thank you for it's Dean here. Mr. Kesh, there was a lot of noise on your microphone then, background noise. Also, Mr. Kesh, why may I ask a question? So why was Jesus given this ability? What did he do to receive this gift of being able to become a prophet?
If he wants to take on Dean's question, maybe you'd like to repeat it.
Yes, I'm
Okay.
back, but I'm traveling. So Dean, repeat your question.
Thank you, Mr. Kesh. Thank you, Mark. So, Mr. Kesh, my question was: you explained that that Jesus Christ was became a prophet. He didn't come with this knowledge. He became a man, and then he was given this knowledge as a gift. My question was, why did he reach a position, or why was Jesus Christ given this gift?
It's not a gift. Is you know, usually in structures you have a few children or few members in the company, and the boss decides that, okay, this one is going to take over after I've gone, or after whatever, or this is good for that job. It's the same, but the structure is set for the soul to have the capability and the capacity to receive it. As I said, you go to the studio, it's 100,000, and you fall in love with a guy outside. Nothing happened with you with 100,000. And it's the same, but the time, the place, and the destination of it adds up to be there. It's just like, you know, when you take certain medicines, it doesn't work till it reaches certain capacity, certain strength in your body, and then it works. It's the same. That soul of that physicality from the bloodline which came to create it reaches that point that allows the field, the strength, imagines the strength of what was said to be the soul of the prophet. Nothing else. The rest of it is, you don't get somebody dropping from the sky and say, this is a child. You have to have a background, you have to be born from somewhere. And then it becomes your history. It's the same with all of them. One was in the basket, one was a merchant, one was what I call the best, whatever you name you want to call it, but it's all at the end.
And
It's
did he receive when he became this, Mr. Kesh? Did he accept it straight away? Was it something that he required, or was it he already knew? Was it a knowing within inside himself?
it's done. It's an enlightenment. It's an enlightenment, and you can't refuse it, but they bash it on your head, and you can't refuse it. You cannot refuse it. It's something when it's there. It's not something you can refuse. It's there. It's done. You can't. Put it this way: you have no choice, and it comes with it a lot of things, a lot of suffering, a lot of other things with it. It's not so easy. I mean, it is easy if you think of it, but you have to pass the time, the process. Look at all of them, all have a history. Otherwise, if they drop from the sky with no history, then they had no meaning. It was somebody that were aliens. So they have a father, they have a mother, they're born out of somewhere. That's how the structure. Then the elevation of the soul, the light.
And this, Mr. Kesh, is the present moment with humanity, our experience in this.
Explain.
So if one receives this, if the soul of one, whomever, whichever soul, then we speak about humanity and all the souls, not just humanity, all the souls receiving this field strength, this understanding. And you've said a few times that one can receive it, and you've also said that many need to receive it. So by
It's
this one
like a
receiving,
love. Pardon?
no, carry on, Mr. Cass.
It's like a love. It's got to touch you. And this time, the love is knowledge. Nothing. It's not conquering. It's not killing. It's not womanizing. It's not becoming and slaughtering. This time, the knowledge conquers, and that knowledge brings with it peace and love.
So like like we see on the screen, it's going to be one planet, one solution, and we are here to serve.
Oh, it's not solution. The solution is already with the man. It's just how do you use that solution to serve? That's as simple as that. I was talking to without knowledge because yesterday, and I explained the history of what happened to where we are, and how technology has got to where it is and where it is. Then it was easy to take an option and walk away. But it was harder to see that you're the only one who calls and walk away with it. When I sat with Lockheed Martin with 13 of their headquarters online, those days, 20 years ago, Zoom wasn't like the way we have it nowadays. They organized 13 of their top the officers involved in the whole of Lockheed Martin across US and the rest, with all the scientists online. One me and the rest of the American top scientists in nuclear, in weapon, and space. And they said, you have done, you is correct. But then they put a price on it, which was not acceptable. It was not for sale. Means would be shelved. The same when I went to Iran, top heads of the universities were put in the same room. And they all said the same. You have discovered the technology is correct. But it took me 3 weeks to negotiate signed documents with the Iranian government, with the parliament, that my technology will not be weaponized. It's the same.
On the 16th, Mr. Kesh, did humanity receive the totality?
They didn't receive. It became enlightened. It understood. It was educated.
Mm-hmm.
It rubbed shoulder with, if you want to put it that way. It became part of whatever name you want to put it.
In some instances, Mr. Kesh, it seems to have been very instant. I've noticed some some world events that seem to have certain things I've seen that seem to have been triggered, activated. The wishes that were brought forward, you said that they will be granted. Will this be in a
You will see on Thursday your wish part. You lots have your wishes. God knows what you were wishing there. We actually registered your wishes.
okay.
We seen how suddenly you lot, the minute we gave you the wish right, you went the pish right, which the pins were going crazy with it. But the beauty is, some of you wish to serve. And we see some of you wish to receive. You wanted something. It's very clear. You cannot deny it. You will see it on Thursday. And we repeated the same on Monday. The biggest journey I will take will be on the 20th of December, January, when masses gradually start coming to see, to taste, to understand.
Thank you, Mr. Kess. That sounds we've all been present and rubbed shoulders, you said. We've rubbed these, we've become part of. And so for each and every soul that was present in that moment, and I understand that it was more than just the souls present there, that it would be the souls of totality would understand this this rubbing together of the of the fields that has brought about this.
You see, let me explain something to you. Maybe nobody has contemplated on this. We explained this on Friday in a very much deeper way. We asked you to go to yourself. Then we asked you to reach each other. Then we asked you to reach the one you believe in. Then we asked you to reach the one you reach. Even the one you believe in, they believe in. And then we left you for yourself to find out, where have I been? Did it happen? The question for you, we'll discuss it much more detail in the coming days and weeks, is the ones you went to that you believed in. I have many other people who believe in them. If you can be with those who you believe in, and have so many believers, one day want to have the place you have. This is the part which is going to bring a lot of things into question. Do I need somebody, or do I need a place to go to confirm what I believe? Because what I believe in, I've been with him. I took him to see his creator. You have not understood what exactly happened. Right?
Will we come to know this in the moments to follow, Mr. Kesh? Will we understand this according to what you understand?
If it's on the CNN, yes.
Yeah. You said that many times before. We hopefully.
And that wasn't my say. That was say of an American knowledge seekers, very, very early knowledge seekers in 2007, 8.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I believe it when it's in CNN. Till then, I listen. I only listen and learn, but I don't believe in it till it's on CNN. So we're waiting for CNN. He's still around. He's still knowledge in somewhere.
So this rubbing together of shoulders, Mr. Ketch, will it be seen on CNN, or will it be felt by the souls?
You got to speak to the Iranian television. They put the rights up to show them when the prophet comes.
Mhm.
If you got to go see them, CNN won't have the rights. They bought the rights.
I think in this moment, Mr. Kesh, you've brought this this change is here right now, and I thank you for what you brought forward. Thank you. Beautiful. I sense, Mr. Kesh, that the souls, the silence, the space gap, the understanding is in place, gathering and filtering through, and it's such a large. That's the right word. If it's such an incredible moment that it takes away the voice. So you just have to comprehend and know it and sense it, and that's why we get these. We're having these space gaps of energy that are transmitting on a soul aspect. You know, with each in the physicality, with each breath that we take, and also on a plasmatic level with each thought that we are receiving, which each, you know, each intention that you've brought forward.
The biggest point is you got to accept you're part of totality and you're not a part. Then you can handle it.
How do we accept that we're part of a totality? Because how do we sense that? How do we feel that? Or how do we understand that?
I put it to you in a very simple way man can understand. If there is no farmer, there will be no fruit. If there is no shop, there will be no customer. And the customer, best friend of the farmer. So, would you like to be the farmer or the buyer who finds? Because one does not exist without the other. You need to buy what the farmer makes because it's guarantees your survival. And the farmer needs you to buy his food for him. So we know about it.
The message being delivered, Mr. Keth, I think we're going to have to understand on a soul level, because the voice is it's very difficult to hear.
Agree. Could you move just a hair closer, unless you're not trying to disturb others in your background, Mr. Kesh? We're almost not hearing
It's
you.
holding, and secondly, this is at what we're trying. So you had the test of it before Thursday.
We did, Mr. Kesh. Yeah, it was an experience that was and well, obviously I've never experienced this before. It was there was lots of noise to begin with, then it settled back, but there was always a constant interaction.
That was the best part. That was the best part. I explained to you, maybe I repeat it again on Thursday, but I had to answer you because I listened to this. We had many people writing back to us about the Thursday. It was so noisy, but through the noise, we didn't bother us anymore. We didn't listen. But the funniest thing is that more noises you made and we tried to silence you like children in a classroom, the more it got. Even the Chinese got into the act at the end of it. Was that the sound of the soul does not hear the sound of the man? Doesn't matter how much noise, how much you shout at the soul in the background of it. You're part of it. We're doing that work. It's irrelevant how much noise you make, but that noise doesn't come into the vast part of the all the ones who were there on Friday to do the job. That's all. It's as simple as that. And I said, my God, it would have been much noisier, it would have been better. So you listen to the noise of the man, we listen to the noise of the soul.
I sort of understood that, Mr. Kesh, at and when this was going on, I was trying not to listen to the noise.
Was it before you fall asleep or after you fell asleep?
Yeah, I fell asleep for a moment, I must admit. Wherever I went, it was, yeah. Yeah. I think many of us went through that experience where, you know, we go to a different position and our physicality either can't handle that or can't accept that, or just does accept and just settles back and lets the soul communicate.
It's a life you got to live.
Mr. Cash, when we, you know, when we're born, until now, whatever age we are, say 20, 30, 40, 50, 60.
Like you, 18, 19, yeah.
Okay, and then what happens, you know, imagine everything we went through, we put in these boxes in terms of emotion, nothing else. And then I felt, not then, I'm thinking, I mean, this happens because, you see, imagine there is you're in a pendulum, one side of a pendulum is you're the creator, the other side of the pendulum, you just go to this position, which is like, you know, between heaven and hell. Suddenly every boxes of memory open and everything comes up. And then the one who goes to the hell, you're dealing with all this emotion, and then you have no choice, you just face it. And then you come back to this point that it just takes you to heaven again and just go back. And I didn't understand what's going on. I just had to, it wasn't then, it was just happening randomly here and then. And then I was thinking maybe it's the day of judgment, for example, I give you an example. Suddenly I had this huge fear came, and then it was just something was opened that I never knew I had fear before. Then suddenly I felt like when I was a child, because all my members of my family, they used to get married at 12. And then all the girls, the time they got 6th grade, then they got off to school and then they got married. So I had so much fear of that. I would study so hard that nobody makes me to get married. And there was a fear. Suddenly it came up and I never knew that was a fear. And then suddenly one after another. So I had to look at the whole totality of it. I couldn't push it away. I just was in it. It was me. And I said, my God, what is this coming up? So it's just like you're going through your life and opening these things that was closed, open one by one and facing it.
This is part of this, we hear from a lot of people. I've heard about maybe 10, 15 people since Friday, that what they went through and what was enlightened and what they understood from the past. We learn from it. It's part of us. This is part of being there. But I think I'll repeat this many times to come. From now on, the education comes in a different way. We are educated in silence through this one. And when you need the knowledge is there and say, how did it come? but remember, you went to schools, you went to the classes of the 16th and 12 and 20. That is what was no problem. These days, so basically, you just bring it there because you engaged, you're the prison officer.
Mr. Cash,
We
you're
can't-
whispering. You're
Yes.
whispering. We can't hear you.
Thank you, Azar.
That's, yeah. Anyway, I have to get up. I've got to go somewhere else. I will see you on Thursday and we speak, we explain more. Very much. Thank you for your time.
Could I ask one more question, Mr. Cash?
Yes.
During the session on Friday, at some point, I heard a baby cry. And I thought to myself, gee, the people cannot keep the baby quiet. They know, we were supposed to be in silence. And I said, well, maybe they're living in just a one room and there's no place to put the baby. So we accept that. The following day, you said that was the child of Mitra we heard. Now, I was
There
thinking
were
maybe,
two. There were two children.
okay, was there a
One of my
message?
sons.
Sorry.
I said there were two.
Right. Was there a message that was delivered plasmatically, even though we heard a sound with our
Yes.
ears?
That
Okay.
was the purpose.
Yes. Okay.
That was a clear purpose. And that was there to confirm the existence, the presence.
I thought it was perhaps something that was extended to the creation, to the soul of this planet on a plasmatic level that had a much deeper meaning than just what we heard with our ear.
Much more than that. Thank you very much for today. We'll see you on Thursday. And thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for appearing with us.